Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pioneer Playbook. Performed in front of a live audience here at Prater's Barbecue. I'm having a nice rodeo burger. And goodness, I could sit here and talk for hours about it, but we're actually going to be talking more about sports than food. So if you're cool with that, stay tuned because we're going to go into a bunch of interviews we have performed. We're going to go talk to some players, coaches, co-athletic directors. It's going to be a great old time. So if y'all are down with that, stick around. And I'm going to eat this while y'all go towards a interview that we did a while ago with our co-athletic director, Mr. Lippy. And he's going to talk a lot about the app and what the season for the athletes are going to look like. So please stay tuned. Look, and I'm here with
Anthony Lippy.
I'm Philip King.
We're going to be sitting here and talking about the new Pioneer app, which you know a lot about, right?
Sure, yeah, I'm that guy.
I hope so.
We know a little bit about it. Anthony
bit.
knows a little bit more about it than I do, but
yeah.
All right, we're going to kick off the first question with, as co-athletic director, how do you envision the community staying connected with the Pioneer Athletics through the new sports app?
Well, the first thing we want is everyone to go download it. Download it. You can go to either the Google Store or the App Store through Apple. So whatever you have, you can download that. Last time I checked, we had over 1,500 downloads, and we started it just last December. So we haven't actually gone through a football season with it. But
or even all the other fall sports.
Right. Yeah. Any of those. And so far it's, we've had nothing but positive, remarks about it. You get scores, updates, there's pictures. There's a lot of things that, help you even get direction to where teams are going to be playing and things like that coaches can put on there. So, we just want everyone involved in it. There's also opportunity that businesses or, can sponsor the app. The other cool thing is that it connects to a website. Now, not a lot of people know that. The app, because it's in our hand, we've got it on our phones and things like that. But it actually, everything that's entered into the app, we actually have a website that goes with it. It's warrencountysports.com. So if you're on a desktop, you can go there, and it's actually really cool. It's got its own layout and everything, and you can go check out the coaches. It's got their emails, all the information, schedules, everything that you would see on the app.
Okay. So whenever I downloaded the app, it gave me a bunch of these press notifications of keeping me updated with the score. I like that because I ain't got to open the app every time. I can be like, oh, hey, we're up 25. That's
right.
Great.
And there's a good point that's to be added because I know there's several people. You can choose what you want updates on.
You can filter.
Yes, you can filter it because when you download it, there will be a question that says, allow notifications. So you do want to click on allow for those. So you do get some things. But then once you open it up, there's these little toggles, and you can say, I want to know about football, basketball, baseball. This club, maybe esports I know is on there, but I don't really have anyone or want to know about these others, so I can turn those off, or you can just leave them all on. However, so you can personalize it to what you're interested in and what you like.
That's very good because ESPN, I don't mean to shoot it around, but I'll get notifications for sports I don't even know.
Right.
Pickleball. What is that?
Let me add this. One of the things that Coach Lippy just mentioned, and this was actually a conversation that he and I had in the hallway yesterday, because we get hit up a lot of times as athletic directors for, hey, can you send me a roster? Hey, can you send me a schedule? Now, there are those of us like me. I was doing some eligibility the other day, and I like to print it off and have it in my hand where I'm working on, and I can check things off. Other people like to have, but if you go to the app and you can't find what you really want to see, you can actually go to the website, and it's got its own different feel to it. It's for those people that are more computer oriented versus looking at an app or looking at their phone smaller. It gives you an avenue, like he was saying a minute ago, like with rosters. A lot of teams, I did it last year for baseball. After we have our team pictures, I put my kids' pictures in there, and so it's really small on the app. But if you're on the website, then you see that kid and what he looks like. Because there's a lot of people that football's a good example. You get a program, and people want to know what number somebody is, but they have helmets on. So the association with a kid's face. Hey, you see that kid out at Walmart. Oh, that's a kid who rushed for 250 yards the other night. Just there's avenues that are beneficial, I think, that keeps the community involved with what we're doing.
That's what I like about it too. Is that could be like, I don't know much about number 52, but I can see who they are. I can see them in the hallway and be like, hey, you did really good that game. So that's great. So beyond just game schedules and scores, how does the app foster a sense of community and connection among fans, students, and families?
Yeah. So, well, the thing I like most about it is that when it sends you those updates, and it of course, those are the big ones that you mentioned, the scores, schedules, rosters, that's the big thing. But when you get a notification that, hey, we just scored a touchdown, or we got one last year, a JV player hit a game-winning buzzer beater. That's personal. That's that grandparent that, look at my grandson just hit this shot, or my cousin just did, and it's right there. They can click on it. It's personalized is the way what I like about it. And it's going right to what we have access to, and it's right in our face. It's our phone. And so that's what I think brings the community together, along with businesses and things that are able to connect their, in partnership with the high school and now even the middle school, because we've added the middle school onto the app. And so I think the more we get involved with it, the more it gets out in the community and family, and you get more of that connection.
That's great to hear. I'm trying to think of this one time. I don't know if it was basketball or football, but one of my cousins, or a really good friend of mine, they said, so-and-so scored a point. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to call them and say, how was that game-winning sport or whatever?
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like the app is perfect for what it does.
Right.
Well, and
great.
Let me add this. So one of the things that we have is we have some people that are really savvy technology-wise. And you go from different sports, and it's not a sense of this sport's trying to outdo that sport. I think everybody's proud of what they're trying to accomplish. And, I look up, and not that I want to single anybody out, but I'm going to say one, Josh Harris, he's one of our football coaches, but also our wrestling coach. He did a great job because he knows all that stuff about Photoshop and things that are a little bit out of my wheel. I've learned how to use Canva. These guys, Lippy and Jacob Bell, they taught me how to start working on some of those things. But it's neat to see that, they go have a meet, or anybody. A lot of our teams do it, but they'll post something where it might actually have a picture of 2 or 3 kids that either want an individual trophy, or it might be even a game day blast where, you may look at a schedule, but you may not know what's upcoming, but a coach can put on there, hey, big game at Coffee County tonight. And, Coach Martin, our softball coach, might put the picture of the starting pitcher who's going to throw tonight, and that just it's an added level to it, to where it makes it more personalized, where you can follow them along a little bit closer, as opposed to just, hey, did the team win last night? You can really kind of follow it a lot closer that way.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, one of the coolest things, and we try to really push this, like some of these sports that people don't get an opportunity to see, because he and I both feel this way. There's a lot more good that they don't realize what's going on. Archery and bowling and esports and things that these kids, and anglers and fishing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going on that people, they may have heard once or twice, but now it's in your face. You're like, man, I didn't realize that kid is going to college to fish, or going to, we had a kid go to Chattanooga on a full ride for esports, and so that's what it does, is it highlights not just basketball, football, and baseball. You've got your big 3, but we've got so much going on that we want to brag on our kids about.
Oh, just thinking of the way that kid got into Chattanooga from esports is insane to think. And also, with the app, it feels like you're actually there, because you get to see all the updates like live.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
The live updates.
Right.
Are there any additional features or updates to the Pioneer Sports app that you're excited about, which will further strengthen the community ties or our athletic programs?
Yeah, so one thing Coach King and we touched on last year a little bit is on the main page, you can actually scroll over. There's a button there that says sponsor, so you can kind of see all of our sponsors, but then we also added a Hall of Fame. Yeah. And that was something that we started to get it going. And At first, I had some people that sent pictures, and so we still want to encourage you. If you have those, we want those alumni and those important members of our community to send those to us, because like right now, initially when we started, I created a template, and we just put everybody's name that was currently in the Hall of Fame. But if you scroll down through there, you'll see some have actual like pretty large photos. They're it's cool to see that and just remember those important people. So that was a new feature that we kind of did towards the end there.
Yeah, it wasn't an early part of it, but we added it on. It's really cool because, it's one thing to go down through there and see names, but when we kind of put it out there that, hey, send us your picture, a handful of people did, and we really want more. We want to get everybody's picture on there. He and I were sitting in his office and we were Googling, and it's a player from the 1920s and, just trying to find pictures. I found a picture of my grandfather's brother who was in the Hall of Fame, and I had this picture at home that was my grandpa and his two brothers. So I just took a picture of it and cropped it, and we loaded it up on there. And so it's neat to be able to see a face to somebody that put a lot into Warren County sports and was honored with that type of, award.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is it like local Hall of Fame, or is it like
the Warren County Sports
Warren County
Hall of
Sports?
Fame?
Yeah.
That's a lot cooler. I don't think about it.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
You can scroll for a good time, but we need more photos. So if you've got those, send those to us.
What's the email in case they need to send it?
Yeah, so mine is Lippea, that's Lippea @warrenschools.com.
And mine's King P @warrenschools.com. So it's basically our last name and the first initial of our first name.
Oh, okay. We had to skip over the real-time events because we've already been talking about so long.
Right.
So how will the Pioneer Sports app help in promoting upcoming athletic events and initiatives that the community can participate in?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about that. So we'll have like game day blast and events. One thing that we started last year was the Kick for Cash, which was really cool. I loved running out there and just like setting it up and, seeing the kids. So we'll have different sponsorship opportunities, and we'll blast that on there on the main feed, and it'll say, it's mainly for our students, but I think our crowd really liked it too.
It's something that, here's at the halftime, and that there's going to be a kid that's going to kick up, attempt a field goal for $100. And same thing at basketball. It was a, layup, free throw,
and a three-pointer in 30 seconds. So just trying to add something to the
game day vibe, at football games. And I know that, you look at the big, the big money sports are football and basketball. That's the two big events. You got a Friday night, and of course you got, what do you do in the wintertime besides come to the high school and watch basketball games at all, But it's just adding things to it. You go to a game like and I think the really neat games, if you want to go watch them from a pro standpoint, are arena football and hockey, because there's always something going on. Not that we want to be corny but we do have people that want to come. If you come to a football game last year, it seemed like there were a handful of times where we had all these tents that were set up because people wanted to bring their businesses and set up to promote what they're doing. They're doing at our high school game. So, it's just extra coverage, extra people, just trying to get more people inside the gates or the gym to watch our kids play more than anything else.
All right. Is there anything you're wanting to add, like a fantasy sports aspect to the app?
Well, right now, because that could be endless. We've got a lot of clubs. We really try to keep it to our sports. And then, like I said, last year we added our middle school, and so they're up and rolling now. So they're doing a really good job with that. But yeah, mainly just athletics, because it can. I mean, so many clubs that we have, it can get a lot.
It would be a lot.
Yeah,
it would be a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot right now because we've got a lot of sports, and some of the other groups that are on there. Band is on there. I think our winter guard, flag guard's on there. Cheer and Pinerettes, JROTC. There's a lot of different groups that are on there, and you got to stop somewhere. As much as you hate to
kind
say
of the thing we looked at is competition. Is if you're able to compete, and like I said, we got esports and ROTC and a lot of those that compete. That's kind of where we put it. To kind of draw that line and still try to involve as many people as we can.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on the show. Anything else I want to add before we head out?
Yeah, just we do have a lot of coaches and teams that are going out and offering sponsorships to our businesses. So if you do want to partner with us, we have a couple of different levels that you could purchase and be able to have an ad on our app and the website. And so if you're interested, reach out. You can reach out to me or Coach King or any of our head coaches. A lot of them are going out and they're getting those sponsorships. And so if you wanted to be on the homepage where everybody would see it, there's a package for that. Then there's also a package for if you want to
specifically sponsor a team. When you click on that team's name, boom, there's that sponsor. That money's coming in to help these guys out. Somebody giving a donation, you put it in the general account, try to figure out how to divvy it up. Well, it's going to those guys because that's who you're sponsoring.
Right.
Thank you guys very much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Hope to have you on
having us.
in the future. We're going to cut back to live feed at Prater's Barbecue. We're here at Prater's Barbecue doing our live feed. Great food. They just brewed fresh sweet tea. If y'all want to come out here and get some, it's delicious. I've been sipping on it since this thing's been going off. But we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. After that, we're going to have Ben Matheny on, correct? No, we're going to go back to other feed that we already did. So please stay tuned.
Call it Pioneer Playbook. Some call it Tree City.
Some call it the WC.
We call it home.
From the first showing to the final signature.
From downtown charm to wide open fields.
Warren County isn't just on the map. It's where dreams are made.
Because when you're buying or selling in the WC, you deserve someone who gets it.
Make my mom your winning choice for buying or selling real estate in the WC.
Let's make your next move your best move.
People of this region for 53 years, and we are fully committed to the people and the communities that place their trust in us. McMinnville in Warren County is just one of the 9 counties that we serve. With 4 convenient branch locations, along with 7 ATM and ITM locations, you can be assured that Citizens Tri-County Bank is close by. Committed to you and committed to the communities we serve. It truly is what makes Citizens Tri-County Bank the only community bank you will ever need. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is David Moore with Supreme Building Products. We've been your one-stop shopping center for lumber and building supplies since 1963. We're a family-owned business and operated and proudly served Warren County for over 50 years. At Supreme, it's not just about great prices, but it's about exceptional service. Our customers are what's always supreme. From lumber to roofing to plumbing and paint, we have everything you need to build your dream home from the ground up. Whether you're a contractor, a homeowner, or a weekend warrior, our knowledgeable staff is ready to assist you at our state-of-the-art drive-through lumberyard. Visit us, please, at the corner of Highway 70 and North Spring Street. There's something for everyone at Supreme Building Products, where quality and customers come first, and the coffee's always free. And always be sure to shop local. Call us, please, at 473-9564.
Where we say the customer's always supreme. Supreme Building Products. Your one-stop shop for all your building needs. From the showroom to the lumberyard, a builder's dream. Professional sales and a great location with your guaranteed satisfaction. Where we say the customer's always supreme. Supreme Building Products. Supreme Building Products.
Rise and shine, McMinnville. Treat yourself to delicious frozen and soft drinks in Sonic, perfect for those hot summer days. Whether it's lunch or dinner, let Sonic be your go-to stop to cool off and refuel during the summer rush. And don't miss our special drink offer available until 10 a.m. Start your day the right way. With so many flavors to choose from and the best sun drop in town, why go anywhere else? Drive into summer with Sonic in McMinnville.
Visit McMinnville Lawn and Garden at 129 Keel Drive, where we've been serving our community since 1995. With a rock-solid reputation for excellent service, our dedicated team is here to help you find the best lawnmowers, leaf blowers, chainsaws, weed eaters, and more. We proudly carry top brands like Echo, Stihl, Shindala, Gravely, Cub Cadet, and Skag. Take advantage of our early spring service, free pickup, and a discount on service. Plus, from chainsaws to gardening tools, we've got you covered for storm season. Trust the experts at McMinnville Lawn and Garden, where quality and customer satisfaction come first. Call us today at 815-5296.
This summer, give your ride the shine it deserves with 5150 Mobile Detail LLC. From cars and trucks to SUVs, RVs, and even semis, we bring our top-notch detailing and pressure washing services right to your home or business for your convenience. Want to learn more? Scan the QR code today, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for awesome updates and specials. Ready to get started? Give us a call at 743-1130 for a quote. 5150 Mobile Detail, where your vehicle shines and convenience is key.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Gentlemen, he seems a little camera shy today. But we're back. We're here at Prater's Barbecue enjoying some delicious food. Got a nice live audience. And we got some more interviews for you guys. We actually have the new head coach of the football team, Mr. Coach Blue. Great guy. He was amazing to sit down and talk to. But it was hot that day. He did seem a little agitated. I'll give him that. And his wife is getting busy. About to pop out a baby, so we had to rush the interview. So we're gonna cut to that, and once we're back, we're actually gonna have the head coach for the middle school team. Correct, Amundo. I'm good with this stuff now. So it's all great interviews, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned. We'll catch you right after this little interview we had. We're here to ask him a couple questions, poke at his brain, and see what he's all about. So if you will sit down and listen to this, it'll be a great time. How are you doing today, mister?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great myself. It's hard to beat the heat right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how are the players dealing with the heat? Just like a little quick question for that.
Yeah, I think, the big emphasis with our players right now is making sure that they're adequately hydrated, making sure that they're eating, nutritionally dense food, before they come out here. That's super, super important. We just, with this heat, it's just one of those deals where, we have our protocols. It's based on the wet bulb temperature, that we're going to abide by. And we just got to make sure that we're putting our players in the best position possible, to be successful on the field, but also be safe.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know that our players are safe.
Yep, absolutely.
So, as the for the Warren County Pioneer High School, what qualities do you believe a successful leader should possess both on and off the field?
Yeah, I think, a lot of this just goes back to my dad being a head coach, being a head coach's kid growing up, and then the really, really good and special opportunities that I've had under some really great head coaches working as an assistant and also as a player. A lot of those qualities that they had is that they were selfless. That's always the first thing that comes up. And one thing I also always want to push on players is to be selfless. Men that take initiative, that's going to be super important as well. And composure will probably be the last thing. One thing that we stress to our team is, emotions can't dictate the decisions that we make. So that's a phrase that they're going to hear a million times going through this program. And that's certainly the quality that we want them to have. We know that there's positive to emotions, but they ultimately can't control us what we do.
So with you being the son of the head coach, and we did a little digging on you, and we found out that you were under Bobby Wallace, which is a NCAA Hall of Fame coach.
Yep.
Do you think that his philosophy and the way he coached influenced the way that you?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody kind of has their niche. I guess you can put guys in certain categories. You have guys that are, micromanagers and extremely hands-on, and then you kind of have guys that step back and kind of delegate, and that's one thing that he was really, really good at. He was towards the end of his career. When I was at UNA, he actually retired the year after I finished in 2016. But what was really special about him is that you could tell the vision that he had based on how consistent his assistants coached. They were all using the same verbiage. You could tell that they knew the objective at hand every day during practice, workouts, meetings, whatever it may be, and everything was very reciprocal. And that was something that I always appreciated. And he was one of those guys where, over 100 guys on the team. And when somebody like that actually, speaks to you, it was one of those deals where, man, Coach Wallace talked to me today. And that
got noticed by the big guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was just, really special. And I also, my senior year, I had a career-ending injury, fairly bad concussion. And how he handled that with me, just being very observant and very loving and respectful through kind of that process of me transitioning out of being an athlete. And they allowed me to kind of play a role of kind of like a graduate assistant, during the rest of that season there. So I was very, very grateful for my time at UNA.
Yeah, it's very good here because we also had somebody, not last year, whenever I was playing my sophomore year, we actually had a man named Van Buren. He got injured whenever he played, so he was on the sidelines helping our quarterbacks and helping them remember the plays. And he did a really good job on that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, I'm going to let the little cut here. All right. What are qualifications as a head football coach? What are your qualifications as a head football coach? And can you tell us about the previous coaching experience before joining the Pioneers at the high school?
Yeah, I really don't know so much of qualifications. It's just kind of one of those professions where every situation is different and new. And you're never going to be 100% prepared for everything that goes on. But the goal is to kind of pursue perfection in that, right? But I think any qualifications that I have will be rooted from guys that I've worked for. I go back to Bobby Sharp when I was at Lewis County. That was my first teaching coaching job. He's a state Hall of Famer as a coach. How he organized things, the vision that he had. He's kind of on the other end compared to Bobby Wallace. He was very involved, kind of in everything that we did, but it was in a way where he was supportive. And I just learned so much and soaked up so much in that year that I was with him. And then kind of fast forwarding to being an assistant at Rockmart High School, which is Biff Parsons, the head coach there. He's established it as a powerhouse. I think they've won 8 or 9 region championships in a row, and I don't think they've lost a region game in that entire span. So what he did there was special. What I'm very appreciative about that experience was the opportunities that he gave me. He put me in some uncomfortable positions in regards to coaching things that I didn't have a lot of experience in, but he knew ultimately that my goal was to be a head coach. So he provided those opportunities for me to grow, I'm sure there's a little bit of anxiety putting a guy in a position where, they had never coached before. But that's another place where I just experienced exponential growth because of my head coach and the investment that he put into me. And he was selfless enough to do that. And I'm just super grateful for those guys. And in my stint as a head coach at Armurchie High School, very grateful for that intervention. I think we accomplished a lot of things the past couple of years there at Armurchie. Staff there was great, and just the opportunities there. They felt like because of how people treated me, I was very fortunate to have that opportunity.
Yep, being gifted with an opportunity like that must have helped a lot coming here. So being on the same page as being gifted with experiences or being gifted with the chance of being here. Well, how have your experiences been working with our Pioneers? How has your experience been working with the Pioneers in both terms of performance and personal development?
Yeah, so in that regard, and this has nothing to do with me, I really feel like because of my experiences with those really, really great coaches that I almost feel like I have this PhD in coaching. Not so much of, like I said, of my ability, because you can get a PhD, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a great doctor, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's up to how you apply the knowledge that you've been given. But I say that to pay my respects to those guys that have really invested in me, and I really feel like I can all well back to situations. For example, say there's a situation that comes up at practice today. I feel like seeing those previous head coaches handle those things before and handle them well, I can go back and kind of retain that information and like, oh, this is what Coach Parson would have done at Rockmart. This is what Coach Sharp would have done at Lewis County. This is what my dad would have done, So I'm very, very fortunate to have those, and that's kind of the process that I go through. But you also can't be, put yourself in a box. You also have to be yourself and be, an individual also. So I think all those experiences and then kind of, putting my twist on those things is what's prepared me the most to provide the best experience possible for us, because that's the most important thing.
So you get to add your own topping onto what you have learned from them and how you can apply it in your own flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's a great way to think of it.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to be a coach, think of using your own coaches as a ice cream, and then you are your sprinkles.
Oh, I can dig that. You're speaking my language.
I had some frozen yogurt earlier, and that's what I'm thinking about right now. So how has your transition been moving from Rome to McMinnville, Tennessee? What adjustments have you to make, and how do you feel about the community support?
Yeah, my wife also getting hired in the school system, being a girls tennis coach here at the high school, had a great season, undefeated in region. Yeah, that's right. Then region runner-up, beating Cookeville for the first time in a really long time here. Those are two really, or just all those events were very, very special. And she kind of got thrown into it because, we moved here in February. So, the season, kind of jumped on top of her, her being pregnant. We're due any day now at this point that we're super excited about. So there's a lot of variables that kind of went into all this. And, one of the complicated variables too is going from Eastern time to Central time.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals where it's like, it kind of messes up your sleep schedule and those things. So, but yeah, all that's been great. The administration has been super supportive. That's always going to be the biggest indication on how a transition goes, is how the administration handles it. And from the top down, from the superintendent all the way down to our principal, assistant principals, athletic directors, they've all just been incredible to me in my life. We're very appreciative of that.
We got a very supportive community going on here. And it's crazy to hear that you and your wife did such great things here while suffering from jet lag.
Yeah.
That's like, I can't even do anything with jet lag. Anytime I go to Florida, I'm still like, all right, I want to go to bed now.
Well, what was funny, is that we moved here in early February, and then we had a couple of illness days in the county, and then we had some bad weather. So it was one of those deals where we get here, and then we only worked, I think, 2 days within the first 10 days we were here. So that was actually kind of a blessing in disguise, to where we could kind of we can take a little bit of deep breath,
collect ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your vision for the future for the Pioneers as head coach, and how do you hope to develop the program in the coming years with everything that you've done so far?
Yeah. One thing we really don't like to do is to, think about numbers in the future. Ultimately, what our goal is we want to, create a product that produces great husbands and fathers. That's ultimately our goal. How our coaches treat our players, how our coaches speak to our players is something that I'm very adamant about. How our players speak to each other, how, going back to composure, how our players handle significant moments, whether it's on the practice field, whether it's in the school building. We want them to know that we are advocates for their growth in that area at priority number one in regards to development. So we think that winning is a byproduct of those characteristics that we're trying to instill players, and I think they've done an excellent job responding to that. And our staff has done a great job at winning those philosophies as well. That was one of those deals where the guys that we have on staff, it hasn't been a transition for them. The guys that we brought in and the guys that were retained, they ultimately want all of the same things. And it's just been a very productive environment.
So we're collecting all of ourselves, not just to foster great players, but great people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like that's better for what we have going on here.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of bad people out there, bad husbands, bad fathers, but we are taking the step here to prevent that, making great players.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
What do you foresee as the biggest challenge for the team this season, and how do you plan to address that?
Yeah, I think, anytime you're dealing with teenagers, talk about emotions, right? We don't want to be emotional decision makers. How we respond to adversity within any organization at any level is always going to be usually your biggest indicator of on-field success. But I also think, on the flip side of that, that's also going to be a big indicator of the mental, social, and emotional growth amongst your players. If something bad happens, we tell our players all the time, they may return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. We may return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. The game's not over, right? We've got a lot of ball left to play. Ultimately, that's one thing that we're going to do a really, really good job of is managing our emotions. And if we can win those battles, if we can not beat ourselves, really, the byproduct, like I said, of winning is going to come. So ultimately, if we can figure out a way to develop consistent composure, I think whenever we want to accomplish is right in front of us.
It's always in reach.
Yep.
So that's great. How do you plan to engage with the Warren County community and build relationships with the fans, families, and local organizations?
Yeah, I think the big thing now is social media, right? You have to have an active social media platform.
Instagram.
We have people put in place to manage those things. I'm very excited to have Maxwell Ackerman on our staff, who is, he's kind of moving around with the camera and creating videos and pictures and stuff for us and editing those things and getting that out there. I think it's really, really important for those players to see, the benefits of their hard work through, skill development and all those things. But I also think it's a great reward for us to publish them out on social media and let, the community see what, type of work and things that they're doing to grow.
See how far the players have come in that time.
Absolutely. We have an alumni dinner coming up in a couple weeks. That's going to be something that's very, very important to us. That money is actually going to go for our culinary department here is going to be providing that for us. It's just one of those deals. This isn't a fundraiser opportunity for us. We really just want to reach out, and let our alumni know that they're important, that they always have a place here. And they're also going to be a big part of the direction that we're moving forward.
Great food, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I already said it like last week.
Yeah.
But they make such amazing food there.
They do. Yeah, absolutely.
What long-term goals do you have for the Pioneers, and how will you measure success at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think, I hate to be redundant, but the character growth of our players, are they more selfless than they were, at the beginning of the year? Are they more composed? Are they bigger, faster, stronger in regards to strength and conditioning? Coach Josh Harris has done an excellent job with that. We've already seen great growth up until this point. We're really excited to see where they're going to be, throughout the rest of the season. But the big tangible that we're looking for is ultimately, are they closer to being the great husband and father than they were before the season started? And that's not something that you can really quantify, right? But you'll be able to see it in the interactions that we have with our players, how they conduct themselves on Friday nights. And then ultimately we'll see the byproduct of that, in the future when they do, join the workforce, or they do get married and become a husband, or, fortunate for them one day to have children. We'll get to see those rewards, maybe not right at the end of the season, but in the future. That's why we're in the profession, to see those byproducts for sure.
That's great. Thank you for your time, Mr. Coach Ballou. It's been an honor to have you on the show. And I hope we get to have you on the future too.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We're going to cut back to the live feed at Prater's Barbecue. We'll see you there. Yes. Like past me was saying, we're back at the live feed, and we got some beautiful looking wings here. We're probably not going to eat them, but they look good. And if y'all want to get some delicious wings out here, come to Prater's Barbecue. They got all kinds of delicious stuff. I just hammered down on my rodeo burger. Best burger I've had in years, okay? Beats my father's, and my father is a hard one to beat. Hot take, y'all, hot take. But we're going to do some highlight reel with the middle school team, so please stay tuned for that. And afterwards, we're going to have Ben Matheny on, and we're going to answer him some questions, poke at his brain, see what he's all about, all right? So stay tuned.
Some call it County Country. Some call it Tree City.
Some call it the WC.
We call it home.
From the first showing to the final signature.
From downtown charm to wide open fields.
Warren County isn't just on the map, it's where dreams are made.
Because when you're buying or selling in the WC, you deserve someone who gets it.
Make my mom your winning choice for buying or selling real estate in the WC.
Let's make your next move your best move.
What are the thoughts racing through the minds of players and coaches? I caught up with Coach Matheny to find out how he and his staff are not just building athletes, but tomorrow's community leaders. What does 8th grade Xavier Cunningham have to say about his expectations for the upcoming season?
I'm looking forward to having a winning record this year. I think it's going to be a whole lot better than last year. We got a lot of good players out here, got a lot of effort. I think we're going to have a good season.
Which teams are catching the interest of the Pioneers this season? And how does Xavier feel about the guidance from Coach Matheny and his staff?
Grundy, they upset us early and they need to pay for it. He's a great coach. I mean, every coach we got, Coach Little, Coach Smith, Coach Grayson, they're all great coaches. They know what they're talking about. We're going to have a good season.
With the dedication of the coaching staff and the hard work put in by these players, could this be a breakout year for the Pioneers? Let's hear 8th grader Brant Damon, who's not only playing quarterback, but also corner. What is he most excited about this season, and how many victories does he foresee?
Win all of them.
Quarterback Brant Damon's skills are any indication, this could be a season that fans won't want to miss. What's one key motivator from Coach Matheny that keeps the team fired up?
He's done this thing called Huddle. He puts all the plays on there. He films our practices, and thanks.
As practice comes to a close, what insights does Jackson Moore have on what it takes to be a standout athlete?
Teammates, gotta put them and keep them up too, their mental mind, and just going at it your 100% effort.
It's evident that the Warren County Middle School football team is prepped and ready for kickoff, with their first official game on August 14th versus Jasper at home. Who's ready to rally behind them? Let's hear it. Go Pioneers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Prairie's Barbecue hosting our amazing Pioneer Playbook. We got Ben Matheny here, head coach of the Warren County Middle School. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I mean, I'm here to talk some Warren County athletics at Prairie's. I got all this good food, so not a whole lot more you can ask for.
Yep. You can help yourself to some wings if you want. It's
I
a huge pile.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody want to see me. That may kill the views, but I'll grab some whenever I'm not sitting here.
All right. So I'm gonna get you to answer some questions. I got on this clipboard here.
Sounds good.
So, can you describe your coaching philosophy and how it influences your approach to working with the middle school athletes?
So it's kind of why I got into coaching. For me, athletics was always a part of my life, especially Warren County football. I've been around football in Warren County since I was in 5th grade. I was the fat little kid running around getting waters for everybody. So my thing is I want to pay it forward. You know, I have all these great coaches. You know, Matt Turner is one, and most people here know. Jeff Watson, Andy Evans, Chris Madewell, all these guys that help, you know, inspire me, and we're like father figures, you know, and just built that mentality of hard work. Nothing's given to you. You're not going to get anything if you don't put that work in. Just taught me how to be just a responsible, hardworking young man, and I carry those lessons into adulthood. So my thing is just teaching them to be responsible. Because I feel like now there's a lot of kids who parents for one way or another aren't there. And the kids are either giving excuses or this or that, and just teach them you've got to be a man of your word. You've got to stand by your decisions, and you can't make excuses. If things are going good, work to make them better, and if they're not, figure out a way to change that. So just teaching the kids some responsibility and accountability, and just hard work pays off.
That's great to hear, especially with if nobody was there to teach them how to properly act.
Exactly.
They're there to try and teach them that philosophy.
I do my best.
That's really good to hear. So if you got a down bad child, give them to Ben Matheny.
I'll take them.
What techniques do you use to help players develop their skills both on and off the field?
So the big thing is our focus with the middle school, with football, and with me with wrestling is our goal is to prepare them for high school. So we just focus on the little things, fundamentals over just doing just crazy stuff that'll work in middle school. And the big thing is we're trying to push is them taking ownership over it. So we're not constantly setting up the drills. We're teaching them this in the spring. So right now, I mean, in theory, the kids could go out there and run practice all by themselves, and the coaches aren't out there taking care of it. And that just goes back to teaching them to be responsible, to take pride in what they're doing. Not just being out there because mom and dad drops them off and I'm a babysitter for 3 hours. It means something to them. And that's where you got to get buy-in. If you're just constantly handing everything to somebody, they don't get anything out of it. So giving them the tools where they can take pride in it, they can set it up, and then they even build on it. They make suggestions and stuff because they're mentally focused on it because it means something to them. And the big thing I push and my coaches are behind is having as few kids standing still as possible, because kids don't have an attention span. I don't have an attention span as a 33-year-old guy, and part of it's because of this phone in my pocket. We constantly have access to information, and like I'm the world's worst. I'll waste an hour just scrolling through Instagram, watching stuff. It takes a lot to grab attention, and it's easy to lose that attention. So we try to have as many of them moving as possible, not standing around. Because if they're standing around, they're not getting anything out of it, physically or mentally anyways. So just maximize our time. Get as much done in as short amount of time as possible, and just get after it.
That's really good. I like the fact that y'all are keeping players still.
Exactly.
Because whenever I was playing football, I didn't like sitting still. I was always like,
yeah.
When's it my turn?
Exactly.
When do I get to play?
Exactly.
Is he going to tackle me? Okay.
Yeah, I know, and that's how you keep kids invested, because we've got over 60 kids on the team right now, and we can't always have all of them doing something at the same time, So if they're standing around half a practice, they're uninterested, especially those younger guys, and then you're not going to get them back when they're in 8th grade, when they can be contributors, and then they don't transfer to the high school. So just trying to keep everybody involved and feel like they're a part of the team. They're not just a tackling dummy, but they have a purpose. And that's one thing me and my coaches is we preach is everybody has a purpose. Everybody, you're like we just saw Brant. Brant's our starting quarterback, and his job right now is to lead the offense. But then we've got some first-year 8th graders and some 7th graders and 6th graders. Their job right now is when they're on the field on scout team to make those starters better, because we're only as good as our scout team allows us to be. So if they're not taking their job as the scout team seriously, then that's affecting how much we can progress with the older guys.
Yeah, especially scout team, it's a much bigger deal than people think it is.
Exactly.
So what strategies do you employ to help to communicate effectively with both players and their parents?
So we're working on transitioning to the new Parent Square app. And it's one of those things, it's great, but there's a lot of unknowns with it right now. So I'm working on transitioning to that. And whenever I first started, I was sending papers home. Well, I found out either the kids lost it or the parents lost it and would blame it on the kids. So as much technology as we can. And the WC Pioneers app this will be my first year using that, So I think that's something that is a great asset to us that I'm about to start using a whole lot more. And then we've got our Facebook page and everything, but everybody's so connected. And I was saying how bad the phones can be, but it's also a good thing. Like I remember when I first started playing, my mom bought me a phone because she never knew when practice was going to be over, So I had that phone so I could communicate with her. So it's one of those, we have technology, we have cell phones. So I try to use all these things to try to make sure if a parent doesn't know what's going on, it's their fault. As bad as it is to say, I give them multiple ways to have a calendar or something. And now I'm not perfect, nobody is. And there's things I mess up, but I do my best to try to use these various platforms to try to get the message out and to highlight and showcase our kids, because we've got great kids here and they deserve to shine and everybody know all the successes they have.
Especially with that, I don't even know how that parent app works, nor the sports app, but I know it must be so complicated for like an older teacher, an older coach who doesn't know how to. They're probably still using that Motorola flip phone for all we know.
It's a struggle for some. But luckily, I vaguely remember days without the internet. So I feel like I kind of grew as the internet grew. Like I grew up when I was in elementary school, like I had to watch whatever my parents were watching. But then we got middle school, we got internet, and I was in college whenever smartphones. So I feel like as I was maturing as just a person, that's how technology and everything was. So, I feel like it's a benefit because I have all this stuff, but I don't have the baggage of dealing with social media and all this stuff when I was young, because I'm egotistical, obviously. Most head coaches are, so I don't know. Social media may have been a terrible thing for me when I was in middle school, so unfortunately my son seems to be a lot like me, so we'll have to. No phones or anything for him.
No phones? All right. Can you share an example of a challenge you faced, such as that new app, as a coach, and how you overcame it?
Yeah, so I feel like we're always facing challenges, and I can't think of like anything major. It's just always little things, little things that pile up. You've got to like how hot it's been. I make this practice schedule and we've got to get all this done. And then there's just, you've got to cut it in half or you can't go outside at all. But a lot of things is like a couple of years ago, for those who don't know, they paved all that back behind the middle school. So where everybody's driving the teams and everything but that was a struggle because it was right in the summer. So it was one of those things where we had to move practice, and I came in and spent about 2 hours packing everybody's stuff up and taking it to the high school because we couldn't just not practice. And it's not fair to the kids, and it's one of those, I'm willing to put in that work because they're going to benefit. And anything I can do, so, and it's one of those things, it was a pain at the time, but now we got it nice and paved. It looks good, and it keeps, my truck doesn't get as dirty driving through the gravel every day. So just little things like that, and it's just like in anything, you're only as good as your ability to adapt and make the best out of a bad situation.
At least you can use your truck. Mine's got a dead battery.
Well, yeah, that's a benefit I have, so that's a plus.
Hey, it's all about the benefits.
Exactly.
So what methods do you use to motivate your players during tough practice or games?
And it's just one of those things where, because we've had tough practices, and anytime you go from, they're used to being in just helmets and T-shirts and shorts, and it's 80 degrees when the pads come on, it gets hotter, they mentally just aren't prepared for it. So we've just got to always remind them of the goal. What is our goal? And the goal is just to be better tomorrow than we were today, and to be better today than we were yesterday. And we talk about winning and everything, but our goal is go out and whenever it's tough, look at the guys around you and remember you're out there for them. That's got to be your goal. Your goal's not what can I do to help me? What am I doing to help the whole team? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't say that Coach Matheny won a game or Coach Matheny lost a game. It's the Warren County Pioneers won or the Warren County Pioneers lost. And what are we doing to go in the right direction?
Learn from the mistakes.
Exactly.
Even outside of football, you can always learn from mistakes. You can always be like, okay, this is what went wrong. This is how I can fix that.
Exactly.
For next time.
And that's why athletics are so important. I feel like everybody needs to be involved in athletics or something outside of just school. Because, I've been teaching starting my 11th year, and I feel like I can have as much, if not a bigger impact. I'll say it. I feel like I have a bigger impact on these kids because I see them for multiple years. But it's you make that different connection because in school, it's easy for these kids to hide when there's a classroom of 30 plus kids And it's something where I've got to try to make those connections, but I have more time, more years with these players, and it's just a different, you said you played football, you make a different connection with them. And athletics puts you in mentally and physically tough situations. Football, you're trying to make sure you take that guy's head off before he takes your head off. In wrestling, there's not a sport anybody can do in the county. I truly believe this, that is more mentally and physically taxing than wrestling. And it's one of those things, you carry that with you your whole life. You don't just hold it while you're wrestling and forget it. Athletics teaches you about perseverance and hard work and being accountable and dependable and just an overall good person, So I feel like that's an important thing. And they can get that from athletics. They can get it from clubs. Kids just need to be involved. They can't just come to school and get there at 7:45 and leave at 3 o'clock, and that be the only interaction they have, because it's just they're limiting how much they can grow. So the more kids can be involved, the better.
Whenever I was playing football, one of the good things that I learned is how to I hate to use this word, but to lock in.
Exactly.
And listen to what people are telling me, because before that I could barely even sit through a class. And I'd be lollygagging.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I like football for that. I like football for how tough it made me.
Exactly.
Because I get hit on there, I'm like, that hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that kind of hurt, but
And you realize you can do hard things and you can overcome it.
Yes.
It's not, I don't have to back down from things just because they're difficult. I'm going to take on that challenge, and win or lose, I'm improving because of it.
Speaking of winning or losing and learning through that motivation, what methods do you use to motivate your play? Oh, wait, I already answered that. My bad.
That's okay. It's a good question.
My lines, man.
It's a good question.
You got to ask it twice because it's so good.
Exactly.
So can you walk us through your gameplay strategy preparation?
Mm-hmm.
How do you adapt to different opponents?
So the benefit I have right now is I've got great guys in place where it's ultimately their job, and it's my job to kind of critique them. Joe Damon, he's going to start his third year as the defensive coordinator, and he's just I can't put into words how much of an asset he is to just the county. He coached girls softball for a long time at the middle school, had a lot of success. He's been coaching wrestling with me. He's been coaching football with me. And I don't know, he is truly somebody who pushes me to be a better coach, be a better person, and he's great. He breaks down the film, and that's one of those things where in some situations, the head coach, they're dictating everything. And I have Joe, and he puts in the work, and it's where instead of me just saying this is what we're going to do, there's collaboration, and I just let him take the lead, and that's part of I feel like being a good leader is not feeling like you have to do everything, putting people in place. I chose him to be the defensive coordinator. I have faith in him, so I'm going to let him do that job. I'm not going to micromanage, because I think nobody wants to be micromanaged, and I think that's the qualities of a good leader. You guide, but you ultimately let the people do their job. You don't try to micromanage. You don't try to say, hey, you're going to do this job, but you're going to do it my way. And Joe's phenomenal at that. And then I've got Isaiah Grayson. He's newly been hired as the basketball coach over at the middle school, and he's that next generation of coaches. He's going to be the one people 10, 15 years ago are talking about how much Coach Grayson has inspired me to be a better person, to do this, to do that. So he's our offensive coordinator, and he's really grown. And the thing about coaches, you can tell what the quality of a coach is by how much time are they putting in. If a coach ever says, I don't need to study this, I know it all, they're not going to be with me. Because, nobody, Nick Saban is one of the best coaches, and you're never going to hear him say he knows everything about football. Because it's a constantly evolving game, and you have to, it's just being one of those educational terms is a lifelong learner. Quality coaches, they're always trying to improve themselves as they go. And he's one, and he's eager to learn. We'll sit around and talk after practice, and I feel like I'm learning just as much from him as he's getting from me, you know. But then I've got great assistants. I've got Zach Little. Some people may not like him. You know, he's a police officer. So, I mean, if you don't like him, it's probably because you need to evaluate choices you're making in your life, you know. But he's a great guy. He cares about the community. Then Ryan Smith, and Ryan's kind of like Joe. They have that head coaching experience, and they're able. I ask them advice all the time, you know. And then Zane Maxwell, he's another one, same age as Isaiah. Coached him, just a great young man wanting to give back to the community. So I've just got a great group of guys. And Braylon Grayson, he's heading back off to college, but he's been around. And he's been given the kids are able to see he's in college playing ball. That's what all their goals are. So they're getting that from him. So I've just got a great group of guys, and we just have a plan. We have a overall plan for what our identity is on defense. On defense, we're going to be gap sound, and we're going to be more aggressive. And so far in our two scrimmages we've been sound and we've been more aggressive. And on offense, we're going to execute. We're going to do our job, and we're going to make people pay because they can't stop us.
That's y'all's guys' shout out.
Exactly.
All them fellas. And I ain't got a problem with police officers. I'll obey the law.
Yeah, it's always nice when you've got somebody on the staff that can carry a badge and a gun. You know, like, hey, you can come at me, but at some point, I'm just going to turn it over to him. So you can choose. You can choose how far you want to take it.
And let him do all the hard work.
Exactly.
All right. How do you adjust your practices to cater to a diverse group of skill levels within the team?
So a lot of that is how you coach kids, and part of that is just knowing your players. There's some kids I can absolutely just yell and scream, and that gets them motivated. There's some kids that if you jump down their throat, they're going to shut down. So a good coach is going to be able to not have just one style of coaching, because it's not one of those one-size-fits-all things. And one thing I pride myself on is knowing, hey, this kid needs to be coached this way. This kid needs to be coached that way. This motivates this kid. That motivates that kid. And it's not that I'm taking it easy on one kid or another. It's just about adjusting to what they need. And then, I mean, there's sometimes as a coach, I'm just going to get mad. And you've got to know how to push them, but not push them too far. But every day, you're making what they can handle just a little bit more and a little bit more. Because with football, with wrestling, with any sport, all your preparation is going to come out in the game. So if we're not pushing them in practice, if we're not making it physically, mentally tough, they're going to suffer. So it's just trying to find that line and make that line a little bit further every day, and knowing what is it that motivates the kids. Some kids you have to come up and you have to give them that praise sandwich. I'm going to tell you something good you did, then I'm going to just absolutely kill your soul, but then I want to pat you on the tail and tell you to get back out there and get it done. And then some kids, you just yell and scream in their face, and they get, like you said, that's what locks them in, you know. So just knowing what works for your players.
So with the boundary, it's like a muscle. How you damage it very slowly, but then it grows bigger every time.
Exactly.
That's how you got to think about it.
Yeah. You got to tear it down so it can build up strong.
What role do you believe parents should play in supporting their child's experience in middle school football?
So I think parents, you know, I've got a great group of parents. And some coaches just say that because that's a political thing. I mean, I really do. We did our fundraiser out back in the spring, and the parents got out because I know the players aren't. You know, they don't care about fundraising. I didn't care about fundraising. But I've got a great group of parents, and they're constantly asking, hey, Coach, what can we do? What do you need? And they're doing it for the good of the program. Because there's always I've had experience with parents. They're only going to do something as long as their kid's getting the shine. But once their kid's not getting the shine or whatever, they're out, and I'm the biggest idiot in Warren County. So the biggest thing is just take care of your kid, you know. Ask them how's practice going. Be there for your player. And then, because if I need something, if I need some assistance from you, I'll let you know. But we've got parents that are just like, hey, anything you need, we'll take care of it. So it's just one of those things. The best thing they can do to support the program is support your play, and just don't run down the coach, because I mean, I'm going to make some boneheaded decisions, but if you put that doubt, just that little bit of doubt in the player, it's going to grow and fester, and it's just going to become cancerous, you know. So just support the program, and if you have issues, I mean, just don't air your dirty laundry at home. Come talk to the source.
Parents, you are your biggest athletes supporters. Be there for them. You should.
Oh my
God, honey, I love you so much. You're so good at football.
Parents, it's not always the case, but parents should be. Parents should be their athlete's biggest supporter. If I'm their biggest supporter, then that's an issue. Just like with education or anything, if the most support they're getting is from their teacher, you're limiting that kid's future potential.
So what are your goals for the upcoming season, both for your team and your own development as a coach?
So for us, I mean, obviously it's to win games, but we want them to step into high school and be ready to go, and to trust the process. You know, that's kind of the big thing with coaches. Nick Saban, trust the process. But we're teaching them fundamentals, you know, how to block, how to tackle, how to just understand the game. Because there's a lot more to football than just your stance, tackling. It's knowing and understanding situations, knowing that if it's 4th and 10, I'm not going to take a sack. I'm going to throw the ball up if the game's on the line, as opposed to if it's 1st and 10, I'm not going to risk throwing a pick. I'm just going to take that sack, you know. And just little things like that, understanding the game. So we may lose every game, but if they're playing fundamentally sound football, if they're blocking and tackling and running and protecting the football, then I count that as a success, you know. And if you can see they care about their county, they care about their team, they care about the sport, then that's successful for me. And then something else we're doing, I'm gonna give Stephanie Hobbs. She's a teacher out at the middle school. She's involved with the Interact program. I'm gonna give her flowers because she never gets anything from me. I'm not gonna take. Well, I'm just gonna move on. She understands what I was wanting to say, but I'm being nice and I'm not saying it. But Stephanie knows I love her, even though I give her a hard time. But she came to me back in the spring with the Interact program, and they wanted to do sort of a donation drive at our football games, which I think is great. And it's kind of grown with the administration to where we're going to have a Pioneer store at the middle school. And it's just things that kids need, but they're not going to come up and just ask for it. So it's going to be paper, pencils, but it's also going to be toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, just things that kids need just to basic needs in life, you know, because they don't always have that. Some of these kids, unfortunately, are raising themselves. And I think I wish I could take the credit for it, but it's truly something that started with Stephanie with the Interact program, and I hope just continues to grow. So we're going to do it. You can bring in any unopened and unused items, and this is something that's going to be posted. There's a flyer, and I don't want to speak offhand, you know, but it's going to be posted out. And it's where people can just bring that stuff, because there's a lot of people that have the means to do so, to just support. Just bringing one item, you bring that one item, you could make a kid's life better for a month, you know, that deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, and it's just something that we don't think about. I never think about needing deodorant because I just always have one. You know, I've got a wife who I don't do much, you know, I need something and she takes care of it. But some of these kids don't have anything. So you can bring that item. We'll have a donation place set up at our football games, and you can drop that off. And the first 10 people will actually get something free from the concession stand. So the band boosters wanted to get involved, and they pledged the first 10 people that donate something will get a free item. And I just think that's something great. And it's just something where people are coming together from different kind of parts of the school. You've got Interact, you've got football, you've got band boosters. They're coming together not to support just Interact, just football, just the band, but they're doing it because it's what's best for the community. And I think that's just, if you want to have a successful community, you've got to be thinking, what can I do to benefit others, not what can others do to benefit me, and just being selfless, because that's what it takes to be successful. So I think that's a great thing. And if we do nothing else this season, we can lose every single game. But if we fill up that Pioneer store, because the people of Warren County bring that stuff, you have people like Stephanie Hobbs that are taking the initiative to get something started. If we have a packed Pioneer store at the middle school and those kids are getting what they need, then everything else is just cherry on top.
I love to hear that good stuff's going on with that little Pioneer shop. And
yes,
y'all need to let me get there first so I can, set up my stuff and donate all my stuff. Not for the free food, by the way.
Yeah.
So last question here. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
What life lesson can young athletes learn from playing football?
If nothing else, hard work pays off. And it's not always how you think. Because I like last year's team. Those kids came in and they worked hard every single day. They put in the time. They did things the right way, and it didn't pay off in the scoreboard. But it's not about wins and losses. When I look back at football, I don't think about the games as much. The older I get, the less I think about the games. It's more I think about the lessons I learned from my coaches, the memories I made with my teammates. Going back, I miss the practices more than the games, because I built those bonds, and those bonds have lasted my whole life. While I was driving here, I was talking to some people know him, Jacob Lee. He coached with me a few years. He's one of my best friends, and if it wasn't for football, I mean, we probably would have never met, So football just teaches you, like I was saying earlier, it teaches you that hard work will pay off. And it's not always going to be what you think, but doing the right things at the end of the day, as long as you can look yourself in the mirror, know you did everything you could that day to do the right thing to make yourself better. That's what it's all about. Take care, control the things you can control, do the best you can, and good things will follow because of it. And when things don't go right, dust yourself off and just keep on rolling, baby.
Thank you for being on the show.
I
Thank you for talking
appreciate
all
it.
about it. Give it up for Ben Matheny. All right. Great guest. He talked up. It was amazing. Great answers, man.
I appreciate it.
You're made for the TV.
I don't know about that. I think if anything, I have a face for radio, but just so you know.
Hey, man, my face is made for the radio. That's why we have it on Audible.
There you go. There you go.
So we're going to do a quick little break, and we'll have somebody else on. I'm pretty sure it is one of the athletes from the high school. Very, very hot topic right now, in my opinion. So after this short break, I think Ben Matheny might smack on some wings and so we'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much.
Some call it Pioneer Country. Some call it Tree City.
Some call it the WC.
We call it home.
From the first showing to the final signature.
From downtown charm to wide open fields.
Warren County isn't just on the map, it's where dreams are made.
Because when you're buying or selling in the WC, you deserve someone who gets it.
Make my mom your winning choice for buying or selling real estate in the WC.
Let's make your next move your best move.
in Bolden. Now it's Gateway Tire and Service Center. He wanted our customers to have the best products and service at a fair price. That was his motto then, and that still stands today. We promise to be upfront and honest with each and every customer. We'll never try to sell something that our customers doesn't need just to make a buck. If that's what makes us different from our competitors, well, we're just fine with that. Come see us today or give us a call at 931-815-9000.
Come join us at 110 East Main Street for a farm-to-table experience all year long. We offer gluten-free, dairy-free, guilt-free goodness that will leave you feeling energized and satisfied with every bite. Our small batch from-scratch menu bursts with juice, shots, smoothies, soups, wraps, and sandwiches, and more prepared daily to give you all the nutrients your body craves. We never add powder, sugars, or anything you can't pronounce, so don't miss out on this delicious, healthy opportunity. Swing by and indulge in some wholesome goodness today at 110 East Main Street, McMinnville, Tennessee.
Community Network Productions takes you inside each community with local interest stories, local music artists, and information.
With each show, the focus is the people and our beautiful community. With our creative team, we customize unique show ideas with our friends in the community. Our focus is you.
See each of our shows on all social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and at our website at www.communitytvtn.com.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Planning an auction? Count on the Get It Done Auction Company. The Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company. In business since 1991, they specialize in residential and commercial real estate with emphasis on farms and land. They can help you with estate settlements, business liquidations, and farm dispersals, including land, livestock, and equipment. Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company, representing more and more families in estate auctions each and every day. Call 473-7774 or visit DonaldHillisRealty.com. Firm 2273.
Reddick Brown Ford, we're all about serving our Ford and Lincoln family. Enjoy our unbeatable oil change specials. Just $34.95 up to 6 quarts for synthetic blends and $119.95 up to 13 quarts for diesels. No appointment necessary. Plus, we offer convenient pickup and delivery services for everything from oil change to rapid repairs. Need battery replacements or wipers? We've got you covered with our mobile service.
Jonathan Beavers. I'm the new sales manager here at Reddick Brown Ford on Highway 55. I'm born and raised here my whole life. I'm very supportive and dedicated with over 10 years of automotive experience. Check out our expanding pre-owned inventory on our website or come drive by, and we'd also be happy to appraise your vehicle.
To check out our new service department. We have 2 new advisors, 1 new parts counter staff, and some fresh faces on our pickup and delivery team. We're excited to offer you even better service with our expanded team. Join the Reddick Brown Ford family today. Call or text us at 931-668-2177. Experience transparency and carefree service like never before. Your satisfaction is our priority. We want to be your number 1 local go-to dealership.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Warren First Pioneer Playbook. We are here with Isaiah Robledo. He's a pretty important player for the high school. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Isaiah.
Yeah, like you said, my name's Isaiah Robledo. I played for the Warren County High School football and basketball team. I'll be a senior this year. Yeah.
So you just received an offer from Sewanee. It's all over social media. So tell me, was this something you were expecting?
Kinda not. Kinda, I mean, I put in work, since I've been in middle school. It's kind of something that you do expect, so when you put hard work in, so you're gonna expect to get scholarships or offers, whatever to play the sport you love. And yeah, it's kind of just good.
Are you excited for it?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. Really
That's
excited.
good to hear. So when it comes to making the final decision, what factors do you think will be the biggest for you as far as which school you're going to go to after high school?
Like for me, you know, just the way that the culture, you know, the way that school is, you know, the way that the head coach, you know, the way he is, the way he treats his players, you know, the way the team is, the chemistry, you know, this and that, and like I said, just, you know, just the environment and the whole thing, you know, just that's like a big factor.
Like a lot of factors that you wouldn't think of outside of the football thing, more or less connections and players you would meet through that.
And you know, just like the different things, like you know that college does, you know, just to get people, like just like for you to meet people, you know, just yeah.
Hot take. What's the best sports video game?
Sports video.
You can make as many people mad as you want.
Well, I personally like they just came out with the new college football 26, right? But I haven't really played it. I ain't really played that at all yet. So I've been on college football, but the 25, the one that just came out not too long ago. So that's personally my favorite. But yeah.
A good friend of the show, Duke Rice. He's this older fella, and he loves that game. He's already sunk in like 112 hours. So why do you like that one so much?
I mean, I guess, you know, it's been like forever, you know, since they came out with the actual college football game. Like the last one was like, I don't know, maybe like before we were born.
Probably,
so, you know, I mean, yeah. So I mean, you know, it's something different than other than just playing Madden all the time, which is like professional, you know. So it's a little bit different. So.
I'm gonna make people mad with this. The last good Madden game was Madden 07. That was the year I was born. So it hasn't been that good since.
Yeah.
So going back to college offers, what do you plan to study in college?
Right now I'm in the medical pathway, so that's what I plan on to do. I still continue to plan on to do that when I go to college. I really like to be a PTA or a physical therapist. They're kind of both the same thing, except for PTA is a physical therapist assistant. So that's what I want to do.
So why do you want to study to be a PTA or a physical?
Like if I get in there, I can be an athletic trainer and the physical therapist part. You know, like when I broke my ankle, I was able to have two good physical therapists that, you know, help me get back in the recovery. You know, I feel like I can relate better if I can do physical therapists with athletes that get injured. You know, I'd understand them more, be able to, you know where they're coming from. You know, that type of thing.
That's really good to hear because I feel like a lot of the physical therapists didn't go through a sport and they didn't get injured as badly as like you did or Alex.
I feel like you just be, you know, like I said, if I'm a physical therapist, I understand where that athlete's coming from, you know, mentally, you know, and emotionally, you know, so just going through the process and all that stuff.
What are you thinking the next 4 years will look like for you?
Graduate high school, you know, hopefully go to college somewhere and go there for 4 years and then have a good time, you know, get my degree and then get either go to the NFL or get a good job, a really good job.
Any parties? Nah. Isaiah Robledo is not down to party, girls. All right. Looking back on your high school football career, what moment means the most to you?
I have a lot, and I don't know if out of my high school career, I don't know if I would say like it's like a specific one, but I feel like just a moment, like, you know, just being able to like see my guys every day, you know, when practice, you know, getting to see them, getting to see that, you know, the smile on their face, you know, just getting to be my brothers, I guess you could say, and be able to play the sport I love with them, you know, just getting to spend time together and enjoy them is really a nice moment. Just, you know, just getting to play together, sweat, bleed together, you know, hopefully win some football games this year, you know, that'll be nice, you know, so, yeah.
Especially those pre-game meals, all that time you had to spend with Coach Litt. Shout out to Coach Litt.
All the summer practices, you know, Coach Turner and Coach Baloo has put us through, you know, so yeah, those are nice ones.
It's all really meaningful moments. So thank you so much for being on the show, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Any last questions? Any last things you got to say? Shout-outs?
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
Thank you.
Your mom? You gotta say something about your mom. You gotta say something about Keith. You gotta say something about Chris.
Yeah, I can shout out my mom for taking me to these camps that I've been to, and, you know, just get my name out there.
Changing your diapers.
Changing my diapers. But yeah.
Thanks so much for being on the show, dog.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Isaiah Robledo. We're going to cut to a commercial, and once we're back, we're actually going to have Hayden Watts from the wrestling team and the football team. We're going to get into his hair. He's probably not here yet. Probably still trying to drive here from work. So let's hope we'll be here. If not, I'm going to, So let's go to the commercial.
Some call it Pioneer Country.
Some call it Tree City.
Some call it the WC.
We call it home.
From the first showing to the final signature.
From downtown charm to wide open fields.
Warren County isn't just on the map, it's where dreams are made.
Because when you're buying or selling in the WC, you deserve someone who gets it.
Make my mom your winning choice for buying or selling real estate in the WC.
Let's make your next move your best move.
Located at 601 Beersheba Highway, McMinnville, or give them a call at 474-1776. At Our Coffee, we pour love into every cup of coffee we serve. Welcome to Our Coffee Drive-Thru, located at 601 Beersheba Highway, McMinnville.
Don't know what to eat? Have you tried Cumberland Biscuit Company or Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli? Down on Main, you can enjoy pizzas and sandwiches, weekly combo specials, soups, salads, and finish it up with Tops Frozen Treats. On the weekends, check out Cumberland Biscuit Company's unique dishes like the Twisted Goat Burger or the Bambushka Burger. For lunch or dinner, get the experience of going out of town right here in McMinnville, down on Main. Follow Tops and Cumberland Biscuit Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
When you need help with your medical needs, who are you going to call? At Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy, you're not just a number, you're a part of our community. When you call Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy, you'll get a live person to help answer your medical questions. In a hurry? Try our convenient drive-thru. Not able to get out? We offer free delivery within the city limits. Stacy specializes in Mr. Stewart's over-the-counter and prescription cough syrups. Need to transfer your prescriptions? It's no trouble to transfer to Stacy's, where people care and wellness matters. Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy is located at 485 North Chancery Street, or give them a call at 474-0600.
Craving the best barbecue in the South? Look no further than Prater's Barbecue in Morrison. Whether you're dining in or taking out, we've got something for everyone.
From our mouth-watering brisket, baby back ribs, juicy ribeye steaks, specialty sandwiches, and fried chicken tenders, your taste buds are in for a treat.
Don't forget our weekly specials. Monday, spaghetti or hamburger steak. Tuesday, meatloaf or barbecue chicken pork. Wednesday, pork loin or Salisbury steak. Thursday, smoked chicken ass or country fried steak. Friday, fried catfish or Cajun catfish on rice.
Whether you're feeding hundreds at a company picnic or meeting a friend for lunch, you can count on Prater's to satisfy your taste buds.
Call us at 635-2259 and taste the tradition at Prater's Barbecue. 30 years of excellence.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Hey, Randy Jane, the blueberries and peaches are here.
Fish.
You're both right.
The blueberries and peaches are already here at Randall Walker Farms, located on Manchester Highway.
We have fresh picked blueberries daily.
Come check us out at Randall Walker Farms or give us a call
at 635-9535.
Hey, welcome back to the Pioneer Playbook. I'm here with Hayden Watts. We just got him off work. That's why he looks crazy right now. We're gonna poke in his brain. So, Hayden, can you tell us about yourself?
I'm Hayden Watts. I'm 16 years old. I'm going to my senior year of high school. I play football and I wrestle.
You're also a wrestler, right? Before we get into football, let's talk about one of your biggest accomplishments as a wrestler.
Definitely my personal biggest accomplishment is probably helping us beat Blackman. That's the last match, and I had to pin him, and I pinned him in the first round. That's pretty important to me.
Yeah, because it was all over social media. You had the hat on and everything. So, how do you balance football and wrestling, especially during the overlapping parts of the year?
I try to find time for it all. I just whatever's most important, like whatever's in season, that's what I practice the most.
So whenever it's football season, you're practicing that more than Okay.
A lot more.
'Cause I'm hot take. Who's your favorite actor? Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. It's a tough choice. It's like asking your favorite child, you know. But
it's like asking for your favorite child. All right. Do you have a routine or ritual before you get to a big game or match?
I just let myself know that I can win and I will win. That's usually what I do. I don't worry about losing or think about losing. I just put myself in a spot where I'm like, I know I will win.
So you always got to put yourself in a healthy mindset, like I will win this, I will get through this, and I will come on top.
Yeah.
That's how you beat Blackman, right? That's good. So, who inspires you the most? Whether it be football, wrestling, or coach?
Really, my dad probably the most, especially with wrestling. Mostly my dad. Football was just a personal choice of mine because nobody in my family really played football, and I just felt like that's something I really wanted to do. So I guess
Your dad also did wrestling whenever he was in high school?
He did wrestling. Yeah, that was his main sport. He did football too, but he didn't do it very long. And I wanted to try it out, and I liked it. In the end.
What position do you play in football?
I played linebacker and left guard.
So that's on offense and defense? So are you a big part of the team whenever it comes to the position you play? Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Because a lot of people do not know the importance of each position, whether it be offense or defense.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're planning to attend TCA after school, so do you think you will continue sports in any way, helping your little brother's team or even coaching?
I probably will, especially my little coach team, James Jackson. I'll probably help them a lot. I plan on probably going to TCAT or Motlow and then go to Tennessee Tech, but I will try to continue with helping James and Jackson, which are my brothers.
That's good to hear because, especially with coaching somebody who's close to the family and learning from somebody close to the family, it feels like you have a better connection, you learn better, all that fun stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Hayden Watts. A very quick one. I didn't want to keep him for too long because he's covered in oil all over his arm and face. It kind of smells like a car. So after this break, we'll cut to our Farnham interview we did, and I love his interview. It was amazing. We geeked out a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back.
Some call it Pioneer Country. Some call it Tree City.
Some call it the WC.
We call it home.
From the first showing to the final signature.
From downtown charm to wide open fields.
Warren County isn't just on the map, it's where dreams are made.
Because when you're buying or selling in the WC, you deserve someone who gets it.
Make my mom your winning choice for buying or selling real estate in the WC.
Let's make your next move your best move.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Pioneer Playbook.
Yeah!
Live audience at Pioneer's Barbecue. Me and Hayden Watts are still here eating. Just got done with his interview, but we're enjoying ourselves some wings here. Delicious, by the way. So we're going to cut to our band director Farnham interview we did a while ago. Great interview, great guy. Sat down at the Nunley Stadium, had a great time with him. And We didn't smell his feet. Because listen, he's trying to tan his feet. They call him something with the dogs, but we're going to cut to that now. That was like
good.
It's way hotter than we were with you yesterday.
Yes. Especially at Nunley Stadium, it seems like the sun definitely comes out a little bit hotter when we come over here. So, but it's good. The kids are working hard.
Okay. Can you tell us about your journey in music education and how you became the band director for the Pioneer Pride Band?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like most of my band kids, started band in 6th grade, went to college as a music education major, went to Tennessee Technological University, graduated there, and in that last week of school, my supervising teacher said, "Hey, got an interview for you," and it was down here in McMinnville, and I was like, "Okay, where's McMinnville? Never heard of that before." So I drove down here, had the interview, was offered the job that same day, took it, was so glad. My original job was to teach at the county school, so I taught beginning band and all the other students for band at Dibble, Centertown, and Eastside. And as I progressed through that, then the next year I went to the middle school, taught there for a few years, and then I took the job here in 2002.
So you've been in here forever?
Yeah, it's been a while. Since the 20th century.
Okay. So what initiatives or program have you implemented to enhance the band experience for the students?
So we really try to encourage a family-first environment, a family-forward environment. Because we have so many people coming from so many diverse backgrounds coming into this program, and so to create that family environment, we use 3 core values in our motto. Our motto is 100%. So we encourage our students, from staff to even the student leaders, encourage our students to give their 100% in the day, every time they come to the field. And everybody's 100% is different. It looks different every single day. Today I think they're given more than 100%, just what we're doing out here at Nunley, getting ready for our camp performance. So it looks different every day. So we have that family forward environment. Then we have our core values, which are dedication, integrity, and performance. And we really try to show them what those mean, so that when they get out of here, when they go forward from Warren County, they can have a sense of what it means to be dedicated to something, and the sacrifice it takes to be dedicated to that. And then the integrity of being that person that's not the chink in the armor. You don't want to be the person who is going around telling lies or spreading gossip, or you want to be the person who is being able to be a good human when you're not told to be a good human, when no one's watching. We want our kids to understand what that is. And then performance, we come out here every day and our job is to perform. So, and performance, again, looks different in an everyday job. We're going to have kids that go from here to Bridgestone, and they need to know how to perform their task at 100%. So that's what we do.
Okay, so you give them that early on initiative to be like, hey, give your all if you can.
Absolutely. And again, giving your all looks different every day. Like, we have kids that, you got breakups, you got trouble at home, you ate a bad lunch, who knows? But they come out, and whatever their top is, that's what they're given every single time.
Okay. So, what does a typical rehearsal look like for the Pioneer Pride Band, and how do you keep students engaged during those rehearsals?
Well, the best part about that is they're already engaged because they're choosing to be here. They're making that choice to come and again, have that dedication to the program. So a typical rehearsal is 3:30 in the afternoon, 5:30 in the evening, and the engagement is they're really striving to create excellence on the field, so that when we come here on a Friday night and we're playing our hearts out for the fans of Nunley Stadium, they can see the effort there. So that's what a typical rehearsal is. It's always about that drive to be the best. And not just like in our area, but we strive to be competitive outside of our area, and we want to create an entertaining show for the people here and everywhere else we get to play.
Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as a band director, and how did you overcome them?
Having those challenges, again, challenge is a relative term, so trying to figure out every day can be a challenge. I think the biggest challenge is taking those kids from so many diverse places and creating one concept. The movie Drumline has that one band, one sound concept. If we could have marketed that, I think I would have a long time because we're taking all of those kids, and that's the biggest challenge, is taking all those kids from diverse places and creating an environment for them to succeed. And success looks different for everybody. We're creating an environment for them to succeed, and that's the biggest challenge, is to get them from where they were to where they need to go to get that next step.
Okay. How do you foster a sense of community among band members and encourage teamwork?
So teamwork comes from our student leaders. We've been playing teamwork games. Yesterday we had Band Olympics, so it's been a fun thing. We have teamwork games every year, and we really focus on those team element buildings activities. Last year we were talking yesterday about our personality color test, and they had to learn that every one of us has a different personality set. So maybe our orange, free-willed, free-loving, like super fun people have to deal with one of those gold personalities that wants structure and wants order. And how does a gold student leader deal with an orange not student leader, and how do they work and create an environment for success? Again, we try to create success for each individual, and we want to make sure that the environment is a positive one, so that when they leave here, it's something they can remember and look back onto and be happy about those things. We want to create some people hate high school as they get out, and they're like, God, that was a waste of 4 years. That's not typically the case with my kids. I want my kids to look back and be like, those were awesome years. So creating that sense of family and unity in all of us. All of our games they have to pair with different grades, different sections, different elements, and they have to work together. So we create that family environment for them.
So about those team building exercises,
Yeah.
I want to ask, have you seen two students come together that were complete opposites?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to give a shout out to them?
Sure. So Claire Collier is super, super bubbly, and she's got some classmates who are less super bubbly, but because Clara has done such a good job as a first-year student leader, they've kind of gravitated to that, and the respect that they show her, even like she's a sophomore.
Really?
Yeah. So she's leading by example, and they see that, and they're like, okay, that kid's working hard.
Need to be more like them.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So what are some future goals you have for the Pioneer Pride Band for the next few years?
Over the next few years, we are looking at growing. Our middle school feeder program is doing a fantastic job. We're the largest band that we've had since I've been here. I think we're getting large as we were when Mr. Chilcutt was here back in the day.
Really?
We are marching 120 on the field this year. So that growth, that steady, consistent growth from the middle school programs, from all the county schools and here at Warren County Middle School, just building that. Again, so at the middle school level, they're also talking about dedication and integrity and performance. So it's integrated into everything that they do. So from the very beginning, they're getting that programmatic concept. So when they come here, it's not that big of a change. So growth is step one, and we want to become the best band in our area. Like White County comes with their super fun shows, and that's cool. And Cookeville has their dance shows that they always do, and that's great. But we try to blend both of those things. We want to become competitive, and we want to give something that the audience can enjoy as well. So we want to go and compete where some other bands in our area aren't really competitive. And so we want to go out and compete and be successful in that arena. But we also want to be competitive here on our home turf, where we give the audience something they can really enjoy.
Okay, very cool. And just to put into perspective, the number of students you have is so massive that I can't even imagine it. Like looking out here, I can't imagine how many of them, or how far they would span.
Yep.
It's crazy number.
This year we're going from 15 to 15 in some sets, so we're covering the whole field. It's great.
Okay. How do you solicit feedback from your students, and how does it influence? Sorry. The feedback is your white toes.
Oh, yeah.
How do you solicit feedback from your students, and how does it influence your teaching?
So we have an open door policy. If they've got a problem, and we've had, student leaders are learning how to be student leaders. So they've come to me every single day. And they're like, hey, Farnham, I've got this. I want to talk to you about this. teenage girls are teenage girls. So there's that drama element. You know, that's something the football team doesn't have to typically deal with. They don't have a bunch of girls like
they act like
getting at each other. So, well, I didn't say that.
I did. I was there for a year, bro.
So, you know, they don't have to deal with those elements, but we make sure that all of those kids can come to me with our open door policy, and they can feel comfortable enough to be able to express, man, this is it. And I had a kid yesterday, she was like, hey, what if we did this here? And I always take those students' suggestions. We don't always use them, but I listen to every single one. And actually a kid today came and showed me a video of a drum corps movie. He's like, this would be really cool. And we're going to use that one because why not? It looks cool, it looks effective, it creates a visual kind of spice. So we're going to use it.
Okay. Also, I didn't say that about the football players. That was actually Coach Ballou on Everything I Love. So I got the last question here, and I got to save this for last because we had such a long discussion on it.
Okay.
Outside of your role as a band director, what are some of your personal interests or hobbies that are or aren't related to music?
All right, so aren't related to music. I'm a gamer. I'm a heavy gamer. And you know, I shout out Fortnite. I know I'm gonna get some hate for that, but I'm all about the Fortnite, and I enjoy playing anything that can remove me from kind of the mundane world that we live in. So I am often in some kind of fantasy gaming system, Hogwarts Legacy, and we talked about Baldur's Gate.
Very good game.
Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. We talked about that. I'm looking forward to building a computer for that. Also, I like to fly my drone. Something that I've been doing this past year, because I thought about it from yesterday, is I've learned how to program. So actually, like my new job in the Air Force, I am in cybersecurity. So having to do those things, I'm about to build my own home network at home and do all the wiring and stuff. So those are things that I'm looking forward to doing and getting like hands-on into that world. So yeah.
So I was talking with Levi Korn the other day, and he said that since you play on Switch and he plays on Zero Build.
I do. Zero Build is the way to play because
I beg to differ.
No, of course you do, because you're probably cheating. So that's
no, I'm not.
No, yeah, Zero Build's the way to play.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Dwayne Farnham for the Pioneer Pride Band. He's been an amazing guest, and I hope that we get to have him on the show soon.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned because we're going to have the middle school football coach. Peace out.
Ladies
and gentlemen, we're back with the Pioneer Playbook. Now, before we end our session today, I do want to talk about the future for the Pioneer Playbook. So, for stuff that we can't cover, I obviously want to give a shout out to the Warren County Pioneer app and all the sponsor stuff. If you are a business and want to sponsor them, all the info is right here. Take your screenshots. And also, it's a really good app in general. I keep up with it. They do all the sports, all the clubs really. Esports, football, baseball, basketball, all of that stuff. So, we want to do some fantasy football, fantasy sports, whatever it is. Brian Carr will be on for that. And shoot, Hayden, I'm gonna get Brian on here real quick.
Oh my goodness, I get to be on here.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, guys, if you haven't watched or if you're just tuned into us, Kacen has done a wonderful job doing the Pioneer Playbook today. I've been sitting here, and it's like a fish to water. You've done such a wonderful job just easing into these things. So, hey, thank you. And we're looking forward to more stuff in the future. The next show we've got planned is September 6th. We don't have a location yet, but we'll let you know as soon as possible so you can come out and be part of our live studio audience.
We're eyeing some places.
Exactly. So, and then we're also talking about eating some wings and doing some more stuff like that. But our fantasy sports, we're going to be kicking off here soon because we're going to have a fantasy football league. We've got Commissioner Mark Pyburn who's going to be hosting that with us. And we're in the process of making sure that we get it right for everybody so everybody can be part of that. So we're looking at more like a DraftKings kind of fantasy sports stuff where people can pick whatever players they want to. We'll tally the points up at the end of the season, and somebody will be walking around with a big, fat, juicy Pioneer Playbook belt
that they can sport and hang in their office.
It's
Mark
like
Pyburn.
the WWE like belt,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, we need a spinner on that sucker too.
Oh, that's what I was
oh,
trying to
yeah,
spin with.
yeah. John Cena. So no, but hey, and hey, maybe we might talk more about that kind of stuff. We got esports coming up, and this is the man for esports. So guys, we've got so much to look forward with the Pioneer Playbook this season. This is our season opener, 25-26 year.
It's the pilot episode.
The pilot. Well, we're going to be piloting through a great year of sports. We had a new football coach this year. We've got basketball coming up. It was great to have Coach Matheny talk about what's going on at the middle school and having a good feeder program. So we've got a lot of other schools in the county that are going to be having their basketball seasons that they primarily focus on. But man, hey, this football season going
It's
in.
looking like a big Thanksgiving turkey right now.
And then you've had Hayden Watts here and going to be a senior
Isaiah Robledo, really good players.
We've got some great talent, and hey, I'm looking forward to the wrestling season personally. And having Hayden here, two-sport athlete, that was really cool. Great job with your interviews today, buddy.
Yep.
Hey, guys, we got more coming back, but we're going to join you on September 6th. Is that our next one, September 6th?
I think so.
September 6th. But hey, Kacen, wonderful job. You got a call line or a call out for ending this thing today?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Pioneer Playbook. We'll catch you another time. Bye-bye.